Despite the polling getting significantly closer, Donald Trump maintains a lead over Joe Biden. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new video today. It is time to talk about the 2024 presidential election because everyone, the New York Times released a brand new national poll that shows that Donald Trump still maintains a lead over Joe Biden. Now, it is a much smaller lead than prior months, but he still has a 1-point lead over Joe Biden. And based off of 2020 results, winning the popular vote by 1 point would be a big victory for Donald Trump. I mean, he lost by 4 to 5 points last time, yet he nearly won the Electoral College. What do you think happens if he wins by a point? Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Again, folks, all support is greatly appreciated, and yeah. Now, let's get right into it because this is pretty significant. Now, we will dig into the crosstabs of the poll in a second because there are some fascinating data points there, but the top line has Biden gained over Trump. Even then, Trump still has a 1-point lead over Biden, which again, if he wins the popular vote by a point, he's going to win the election fairly easily. President Biden has nearly erased Donald Trump's early polling advantage, amid signs that the Democratic base has begun to coalesce behind the president, despite lingering doubts about the direction of the country, the economy, and his age, according to a new survey by the New York Times and Siena College. Notice what they say. They don't say he's surging with independents, that he's not surging with moderates. No. All that's happened since their last poll in like February is Democrats are picking Biden. That's it. And this isn't the first poll to show this. I mean, every poll since like February and early March has showed that Biden, his quote-unquote surge, is just Democrats picking Biden over Trump. That's it. It's not, him surging with independents, with Republicans. No. All he's doing is he's picking off dissatisfied Democrats who are like, I don't like Biden, but I'm going to vote for him no matter what. That's all that's changed, according to this poll. Trump and Biden are now virtually tied, with Mr. Trump holding a 46% to 45% advantage. That is an improvement for Mr. Biden from late February, when Mr. Trump had a sturdier 48% to 43% lead just before he became the presumptive Republican nominee. So, even with Biden gaining, listen, I said even back in February that 5-point lead for Trump, it wasn't going to hold. More than likely. There were undecideds that were Democrats. It wasn't going to be a 5-point victory. But even with the undecideds, or in this case just Democrats breaking for Biden, he's still down by a point. That's not good. That's 5 points worse than 2020. And he barely won then. What do you think happens if he does 5 points worse? You're talking about Trump easily winning. Mr. Biden's tick upward appears to stem largely from his improved standing among traditional Democrat voters. He is winning a greater share of voters who supported him in 2020 than he did a month ago. Mr. Trump had secured the support of far more of his past voters compared with the president, 97% to 83%, but that margin has narrowed. Mr. Biden is now winning 89% of his 2020 supporters, compared with 94% for Mr. Trump. Which again shows all that's really changed is Biden gained more of his past voters compared to prior months. That's it. But here's the problem. That's not enough, because still 11% of his voters from 2020, they're not voting for him. Some of them might be voting for Trump. Some of them are undecided. That isn't good enough for Biden. He needs to win virtually every single one of his voters from 2020 to have any shot of winning. If he loses even 5% of those voters, he's done. Let alone losing 11% like he currently is. Now, I do want to look at the crosstabs of this poll because there are some fascinating parts to it. So this is the likely voter section of the poll. We're not looking at registered voter. I don't think that's really worth it. But look at the first part. Only 26% of Americans think America's on the right track. 26%. And that's with a plurality of Democrats saying it's actually on the right track. Only 25% of independents think America's in the right direction. So this 26% are just Biden voters coping about the economy, coping about what's happening. 65% said we're heading in the wrong direction. I mean, every group here is a disaster for Biden. Just look at age. 18 to 29-year-olds, the youngest voters who usually support Democrats. 72% say we're headed in the wrong direction. Funny enough, older voters think we're actually headed in the right direction compared to the other age groups. Now, the reason for this is simple. These older voters are becoming much more Democrat. These are not the same seniors from 30 years ago, the ones that fought in World War II, even World War I. No. Those seniors are mostly dead. The seniors now are from the boomer generation. The generation that everyone makes fun of. Yeah, they are the ones that predominantly make up the senior vote now. They're not the seniors of 30 years ago that, fought in World War II and all of that. This is the generation that protested Vietnam. They were the hippie generation. Of course, they're going to be much more Democrat. But either way, that's just one part of the poll that I wanted to look at. The other part is the 2024 election, because you look at some of these demographics and you can immediately spot some bad signs for Biden. In fact, you could argue this poll might be understating Trump by quite a bit. So, Trump with the likely voters winning by a point. Look by age. Trump is losing the 18 to 29-year-old voter by only 2 points. Granted, there are a lot of undecideds. Sure, fine, they might change their mind and vote for Biden. But even then, Trump's getting 45% of the young vote. And funny enough, his worst age group is 65 plus. Which does kind of prove my point that we are seeing a realignment by age. We are seeing older voters, 65 plus in particular, shifting Democrat, but every other age group shifting significantly Republican. Now, there are many reasons for why that's happening, but like I said, these are not the same older voters. They're not. These are the ones that were the hippie generation. Of course, they're going to be much more Democrat. But you look at the rest of the poll, Trump's at 39% with Hispanics, 16% with black voters. Yeah, 16. That doubles his support with them since 2020. And you can argue that if he's at 16% of the black vote, which I'm still questioning, I highly doubt that, but let's say he really is at 16%. If that's the case, he's going to win re-election easily. Because at that point, Biden would outright collapse in Philadelphia, Detroit, Atlanta, etc. He cannot win re-election if he's doing that bad with black voters. But look at other groups. Independents. Trump's up by 3 points with them. But you might be asking yourself, how the hell is this only a Trump plus 1 poll? If he's winning 16% of the black vote, he's winning independents by 3, virtually every group swung Republican except boomers, why the hell is Trump barely ahead? One reason. This poll vastly overstated Democrats, not just by 1 point, but upwards of 5 percentage points. Just to give some proof to this. This is the February poll, all right? The February poll was an R+3 electorate. Yeah, R+3. The one in April, it was D+5. So the electorate became 8 points more Democrat, according to the New York Times, in 2 months. Bull crap. I'm not saying they faked the poll or whatever, but I think they just overstated the amount of Democrats they're going to vote. Granted, I don't think it's going to be an R+3 electorate, but even in a D+5 environment, Trump is winning. If it's D+5, he's already winning. What's going to happen in a D+2 electorate? What? Trump wins by 2 to 3 points? Talk about a disaster. And if you do some math here, for Biden to win, according to this poll, for him to win, again, it's one poll, we're only in April, stuff can change, but he would need a D+8 or 9 environment just to maybe beat Trump. In other words, he's screwed. In that scenario, he's not going to win. Because you're not going to get that. There's no way in hell you're going to get a D+8 environment in 2024. That's not going to happen. Granted, undecideds could swing towards Biden. That's possible. Fine. But the problem is, 4% of Republicans remain undecided, or I should say, they refuse to answer the question, while only 2% of Democrats say the same thing. So theoretically, that would mean there are more Republicans that are undecided than Democrats, which should give Trump an advantage. Yes, there's a bunch of independents that might lean towards Biden, but even then, do you really think he's going to win every single undecided voter? Of course not. And this doesn't factor in third-party candidates like RFK. And this poll actually does ask a separate question with third parties in it. And Trump still has a 1-point lead. So, what's Biden's pathway here? If Trump is winning with independents factored in, if he's winning without them, if everyone thinks the economy sucks, if everyone thinks we're on the wrong track, is there really any positive here? Congratulations, the poll got closer. You're still losing. And the remaining undecideds appear to be much more Trump-friendly. There's really no positives for Biden in this poll. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.